Lewis Hamilton has awakened an unprecedented wave of passion among Ferrari fans. For this reason, Maranello, usually silent and reserved, is currently under literal siege, enveloped in a feverish energy. For years, the Ferrari headquarters and the Fiorano track haven't witnessed such a vibrant crowd, mad for the seven-time world champion. It's a legendary entrance, an event that, if there were ever a need, certifies Lewis's status. He's here to win, and nothing else matters. Every step and every word feeds that ambition, and it's clear he began working on this dream on Monday. Yesterday, the Italian side called him back to essentials. At the heart of the factory, Lewis Hamilton meets with the racing department to conduct the necessary briefings. The technical plan is studied, details observed. The F-175 is a car from the 2022 championship, but even old single-seaters hold valuable secrets. Having the opportunity to cross-check data with simulations remains important. It may seem trivial, but in Formula One, every lap is a lesson. The Brit knows this well. Between meetings and tests, Lewis is immersing himself in Ferrari's universe, learning its rhythms and the language of his team. It doesn't stop there. He wants to contribute, to leave his mark. He brings with him the knowledge of someone who has built empires behind the wheel, years spent intertwining his fate with Mercedes's. Now, in the home of the prancing horse, that experience can become a gift. Yet, something also flows the other way. Here in Italy, among walls steeped in history and the faces of technicians, Lewis is discovering another world, an environment that, we're certain, will change him, as Ferrari has always changed anyone who has left their heart there. And for Hamilton, it will be no different. Lewis Hamilton's first day at Ferrari attracted attention not only for its sporting significance, but also for the elegance that the driver showed off. A long Ferragamo coat, a double-breasted blue pinstripe suit, a dark tie, and a white Ferrari shirt made up a look that captured the spotlight, from social networks to international media. Attention to detail was not lacking, with Louboutin shoes completing the outfit, characterized by the distinctive red sole. An expression of his love for fashion, which did not surprise those who follow the seven-time world champion closely. Amidst this scenario, there are those who amuse themselves, considering that the British press expressed less flattering opinions. They likely didn't know what else to do and thought something like, "Come on, let's mess with the Italians a bit." That's the first thought that comes to mind reading the title of an article, if it can even be called that, where the same concept is reiterated in the second paragraph. Naming the publication or the journalist, who is rather elderly, doesn't interest us. It would give them undeserved publicity. The most striking thing is observing the crass culture that, unfortunately, occasionally emerges from such warped minds. Lewis Hamilton was supposedly dressed like a perfect mafia boss, according to this English phenomenon. His clothing was described as unsuitable for his first day as a Ferrari driver. Come on, yeah. They just wanted to stir the pot, no doubt about it. We'd rather think that than believe it's a jab at Ferrari by a prestigious newspaper. It's also true that the editor-in-chief allowed this comment to be made about Ferrari. Well, so be it. But this double sensationalist commentary makes us think they might be accustomed to such antics over there, lacking anything substantial to write about. The usual report based on a press release, a few trite remarks up close, and they bring home the result, right? That's how it looks, doesn't it? Ferrari couldn't care less, and rightly so. After all, stooping to this level would be pointless. Seeing Lewis Hamilton compared to a mafia boss by a paper from his own country shows how much it irks this individual to have lost such a talent, and how ready they'll be to criticize him from the very first Grand Prix if things don't go well. Something we don't have many doubts about. While many have praised the British driver's elegance and style, these statements have also sparked outrage over the superficiality of the cultural references. The choice of words such as mafioso has highlighted how old clichés continue to find space in public contexts, generating inevitable controversy. Lewis Hamilton's debut with the Maranello team has thus become a media case, capable of catalyzing the attention not only of Formula One fans, but also of the world of fashion and public opinion. Once again, the figure of the British driver is confirmed as a subject of discussion, capable of polarizing opinions and stimulating debates, both on and off the track. In the meantime, the white 44 on a red background has taken to the track. The moment most eagerly awaited by all Ferrari fans and enthusiasts has arrived. This morning, amidst the fog of the Po Valley and the inevitable humidity, Lewis Hamilton made his debut behind the wheel of a Ferrari Formula One car. The testing of previous cars rules allow competitors to make use of cars that are at least 2 years old, which means that the SF23 could be rolled out for Hamilton's first test. However, as Hamilton is one of Ferrari's current race drivers, he is limited in his mileage total for the year. Teams are allowed a total of 20 days of old car running across the whole season, with just 4 days and a maximum of 1,000 kilometers for drivers entered in the championship. Hamilton's run in the 2023 Ferrari is important, because unlike other drivers who have changed teams for 2025, the 7-time F1 champion was not able to participate in the post-season Abu Dhabi tire test last December. The 7-time Formula One world champion entered the Fiorano circuit at 9:16 Italian time to complete the classic installation lap with an SF23 equipped with Pirelli Cinturato full-wet demo tires. This is the 2023 single-seater, used to ensure that all systems on his Ferrari were functioning properly. A slow lap, as expected, both due to the track conditions, made damp by the fog, and his lack of experience with the Ferrari, with which he completed his first kilometers as an official driver of the prancing horse. During the few kilometers he covered, the Brit also greeted the crowd several times as they gathered along the fences at Fiorano to witness his debut. The helmet, almost entirely yellow as shown in the photo he shared on social media this morning, stood out against the grayness of Fiorano, accompanied by the sound of the hybrid 6-cylinder engine of the car that marked Lewis's debut with Ferrari. At the end of the first lap, the 7-time world champion returned to the pits, switching off the engine. Thus, Lewis Hamilton's first significant step with Ferrari was completed. A long-awaited debut, with anticipation that had grown feverishly in recent hours and continues to build with each passing minute. The second run session took place at 10:28. After a few drops of rain further dampened the Fiorano track, Lewis returned to the circuit for a couple of laps on Pirelli White Hard demo tires. During the 2 laps, completed at a slow pace, Lewis experienced a harmless lockup at the hairpin just after coming off the bridge. The third run began at 10:40, still on white-banded tires, hard demo. Lewis completed another 10 laps, with 2 lockups on the first lap at turn 1 and the hairpin, repeating the same at the 5th lap. On the final lap, he went wide at turn 1 and before returning to the pits, performed a practice start. Lewis returned to the track at 11:07, still driving the SF23 fitted with hard demo tires. This time, the run lasted half as long as the previous ones, covering just 5 laps. Once again, he experienced the now familiar lockup at the hairpin, likely due in part to the track conditions, and before heading back to the pits, carried out another practice start. Moments after the run ended, rain began to fall again at Fiorano. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton's debut with Ferrari is already history. Next will come more laps, during which Lewis can familiarize himself with the Ferrari and the procedures he will encounter in a few weeks during the pre-season tests in Sakhir, Bahrain.